Hello, I'm Collin Culbertson, and I'm going to be talking about the diet plan tier list. I'm going to be ranking these diets on a scale based on the amount of processed food, protein, balance, and micronutrients present in the diets. So, first, the low ranking diets. The fruitarian diet. I did not personally undergo this diet, and it is extraordinarily bad. Um, the people who undergo this diet are extremely malnourished, and that's because it does not have a good balance. You do not have a good source of dairy, a good source of protein. Overall, you're missing some micronutrients. It's just terrible. Your ratio of protein to other nutrients is actually zero. Now for veganism. Now, veganism has lots of processed foods. Vegans often like to go to the store, look at this vegan hamburger, and pick it up. Now, this vegan hamburger is extraordinarily processed and bad for your body. It may have protein, but it's not good protein. It's fake and it is extraordinarily processed. Also, there's not many supplements in a vegan diet, as most supplements are not vegan, and the vegan diet, because of this, is extremely low in protein, zinc, and iron, which leads to extremely low muscle mass and it being constantly fatigued and tens of other defects. For this reason, I did not undergo this diet because of these facts, and you just need animal products to thrive. So for that reason, vegan is an F tier. Now, the average American diet. The diet everyone has experienced, and it's arguably more unhealthy than standard veganism. You are eating so much processed food, and this is probably the reason you're trying to get into another diet. So, um, stay away from this. Leads to chronic illnesses and an eventual early death because of the amount of processed food, the overbearing amount of cholesterol and carbs, and for that reason, I hate the average American diet. It has plagued the U.S. with obesity, and there needs to be change. Now for the monotrophic diets. Balance is everything in a diet, and the mono, meaning one, means you stick to a single item in this diet. And it can be various things. You can stick to something like celery, to something like potatoes, to something like chicken. Now, this is in the top of F tier because it could be you're sticking to like steak or chicken, which is has a lot of nutrients, um, and will have some benefits, but it's not optimal, and you could be sticking to something like celery, which you will die. Do not stick to only celery. And monotrophic diets sticking to a single thing is not optimal, and for that reason, it's F. Do not try monotrophic diets. Now, now for some diets I've actually tried. I've not tried any in F because of the overbearing health defects and that are contradicting to my actual goals as getting leaner and having lean muscle. Now, I have tried the if it fits your macros diet pretty recently, and I just got off it. And this diet works extremely well, but it's very time consuming. You have to weigh and keep track of every single nutrient you put in your body. You're weighing every gram of chicken, you're weighing every carb, every fat, and it is extremely tedious. However, it's extremely rewarding because you know the progress you're going to make. You scientifically know how much lean muscle you're going to gain when put with your diet. So just make sure you're eating multivitamin, as this only accounts for macronutrients and not um, micronutrients, which basically uh, would leave you completely drained without something like a multivitamin in the morning, like I was taking. Now or I forgot to rank that. I'll put that in BA. Now So now I'm going to be talking about the vegetarian diet. I tried this diet when trying to lose weight to find out what it's like, and I thought it would help with weight loss, but I felt constantly hungry undergoing this diet, and it made me eat more vegetables. And to do this properly, please use proper supplementation and eat your eggs and dairy, as that's going to be your main intake whenever you're in a vegetarian diet, because you're allowed to eat animal products. Please eat animal products that you think is morally allowed when you're on a vegetarian diet, because that's gonna be your main source of nutrients that you need to be using. Please do not stray down to the vegan processed foods in the stores. These are not good and highly processed. Um, Honestly, the vegan diet was not that bad if I just didn't get so tired of eating eggs and milk. I only tried for this for like a week. It's not optimal. Um, Now for the pescatarian diet. One above vegetarian and all the benefits of vegetarian, such as eggs and dairy, plus the good source of protein, fish. However, fish is just not optimal as well because of the high mercury levels and polyunsaturated fats that are in large amounts of fish. Now, it's overall better to eat meat like chicken, steak, and pork more frequently. However, the pescatarian diet does provide a better source of protein than the vegetarian diet. And while I was on it, I just got tired of eating fish over and over, and it doesn't reheat well in the microwave. So you just have to make a ton of meals over and over and over again. It's very time consuming, and for that reason, I'll put it in CB. I'll just put it here for now. Now, the Mediterranean diet. This diet is well known and for good reason. While I was on it, food was so tasty. I just love the Mediterranean recipes that are allowed in this diet. So to explain what it is, this diet just specifies eating a balanced diet of fruits, veggies, grains, and dairy, and you can find so many of these recipes online. A lot of people are in this diet, and they have just great physiques and are in great stages of their life. And this is because it completely eliminates polyunsaturated fats that are present in seed oils, and it directly specifies to use olive oil, which is just much better. And because like the Greeks love olives, um, another point that I have to make against this is that it just restricts red meats, which indirectly removes organs from the diet, which are extremely nutritious. And it was very annoying to have to not eat like the liver that is high in protein, zinc, and iron, and B12 before or after workouts that I was going, which probably hindered my muscle growth. So for that reason, I'll put it only in BA. So I'd say it's between here. Now, for one of my favorite diets, however, I'm not on this diet anymore because I used it for weight loss. This diet is known as the keto diet or the ketogenic diet. Everyone knows this diet, and it's because it has tremendous weight loss benefits, as you will not consume any carbs and does influence eating a lot of animal products, which leads to a great protein to other nutrients ratio, and it is very sustainable, and it leads to non-snacking throughout the day. You can go on this diet for years, and you won't have to get off of it. Now, some issues with this diet, it removes all carbs. Carbs are not that bad. If you look at the glycemic index, the carbs at the top of the glycemic index are the carbs that are bad. These carbs that you digest instantly spike your insulin levels and cause you to start turning all your nutrients into your fat deposits, which is why carbs are bad. Why carbs are labeled as bad. But carbs at the bottom of the glycemic index are foods that are not bad. Um, these foods will digest slowly in your body and will keep you sustained throughout the day. If you you need glycogen in the morning, which the ketogenic diet will restrict because it will keep you sustained and not binge eating throughout the day, which will kind of contradict the goals you're probably on while you're on the keto diet, which is to lose weight. So for that reason, this diet is only A tier, and I wouldn't put it in S tier for that. Although it sticking to one rule, such as not eating carbs, is really easy, honestly, and um, for that reason, it's just an easy, great to follow A tier diet. Now the paleo diet, a diet that I am just so eager to share about. I love the paleo diet. It has great balance, just great balance. You can eat like your ancestors, which is the one rule. It is unprocessed whole foods and a lot of protein. The protein to other nutrients ratio is super immense. And there's just a lot of flexibility. You can eat whatever you want as long as there's no grains and rice and processed food. And this makes for a lot of great cooking lessons. So just eat meat and vegetables and some fruits, just some fruits. The only downside is there's no dairy, and if you're eating too much protein, there's really bad bowel movements, which can cause bad excretory issues. So these are still small issues compared to the massive weight loss and muscle gains you can make when customizing this diet. And for that reason, I'll put it top of A tier. Now, the carnivore diet. This diet is absolutely Chad like. You are going to be eating meat, organs, eggs, seafood, and dairy while you're on this diet. And you're mainly going to be eating these things because of the health benefits, as most of these foods are extremely nutrient dense foods. Although this diet lacks balance, and that can cause many issues like constipation because of a lack of fibers. It's something I'm not proud to say that I've experienced while on this diet, but it's necessary for you to know. If you don't care about tough times in the bathroom and you prioritize your strength and physique, this diet's for you. But also remember to eat something with glycogen, like uh, a healthy item on the glycemic index at the bottom in the morning, so you're not binge eating throughout the day. Although this diet, when you're eating a ton of meat, you're gonna feel really sustained, as protein itself digests very slowly in the diet, which will leave in your body, which will leave you very sustained throughout the day. So for that reason, I put it in A tier. With these three diets are very good. And now I'm going to be talking about the worst diet, below F tier. The people who don't eat, the people who think going on extreme calorie deficits and not eating for an entire day is optimal. Please don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. It ruins your metabolism and it just makes you malnourished. Now, let me explain this to you. If you don't eat anything, your metabolism is going to slow and your body is going to be holding on to every nutrient you put on it because you are starving it. And when you start eating again, you're not going to burn anything off and your body is going to hold on to that nutrients with everything it has, and you are going to gain weight in extreme amounts very fast. And this is why it's worse than every diet. And do not go on this diet. With that information, and this being the only unoptimal diet besides fruitarian diet, um, I'd say there is no S tier diet. Although these are, I advise you to go on one of these three, or even the if it fits your macros diet, or the Mediterranean diet. Um, Dieting is specific to the person, and each person can get extreme benefits from one diet, or they have moral views, such as I sympathize with vegans, and I would put it, if they knew what they were doing, in C tier if they have proper supplementation. However, most don't. And vegetarians, I would put it in A tier if um, the vegetarian I was talking to was eating a very balanced diet full of dairy, full of eggs, and just a great balance with a moderate protein to other nutrients ratio. This diet can be great. And people who are in the paleo diet, there this could be rank way lower because um, if there some ancestral really appropriate food is just actually not that great for you, and some people would argue that it is, but it's not. And for that reason, you can pick any diet on this list besides most of these and make it actually good. And I just advise you to go on ketogenic, carnivore, or paleo, or the if it fits your macros diet to either lose weight or gain weight. Thank you so much for listening. Um, Goodbye.